Welcome back, guys. I hope everything has been finding you well, and this has been a journey for me. All of the tools that I'm giving you are things that I have used and ways that I have been able to raise my energy and be able to discern and connect with God intuitively. And I hope that you're finding this well and that you're actually putting these plans into action and doing it. Okay, we've covered visualization and meditation, and we also went through this clearing of the space and understanding energetic boundaries and how this all relates to God. Another thing that I wanted to introduce to you was the EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies. Basically, the earth has its own vibration. It has had one since its creation, and all of us have functioned, all of humanity and its creatures on here have been able to move in a frequency that was conducive to the earth. With new technology, Wi-Fi, cell phones, and other devices, we have introduced a new frequency that has actually created an imbalance through the environment. This imbalance can be seen with animals and insects all over the world. A reference point that we can all relate to was when there was a time that the bees had all disappeared. Everyone wondered what happened to them. We weren't seeing them as much, and as a result, some of the negative side effects were that a lot of us started having allergies. We started seeing a lot more pollen, cars were covered in it, and we were experiencing the negative impacts of not having the bees present to do their jobs and fulfill their part on Earth. Another instance would be with the birds. We're finding more and more, like for myself, I know there's at least 12 to 15 species that can come on my actual back porch versus before where it may have been like 2 or 3. The reason why this is happening is because of the electromagnetic frequencies, these waves, the Wi-Fi, the cellular phones. The introduction of all these things has created a new frequency which has created an imbalance where these animals and insects can no longer use frequency to find themselves or navigate themselves home. So it's almost like you took the GPS and you turned the signal off and now you're lost and you can't find your way through. So if it's doing this to the animals and the insects that are very in tune with vibrations, with the frequencies of the earth, what on earth is it doing to humans? What is it doing to you? How are you now being affected, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, or physically, by this introduction of the new waves? Have you also lost your way? Do you find that maybe you may want to be isolated more? Do energies of other things bother you? Have the frequency disrupted you? Maybe are you getting sick more often? These are things that are inconclusive for us to find because everyone, unlike smoking, where we had a controlled source, we have no controlled source where no one's actually affected on this planet by the electromagnetic frequency waves. However, studies have been done, and it has been found that they do have an impact on us. With certain tests, they found that that we do have emotional, more depression, more anxiety, and there are physical issues where people may be getting cancer or getting sick from this new wave. We've seen increases of suicide and deaths because people are now retracted or they're disconnected. And what exactly is the source? So with the cell phones, I want you to understand that these frequencies are now disrupting your actual energetic bodies. And it's important that you learn to shut certain things off and create an actual safe haven for you so that way you can connect with God. Now, we were talking about barriers and how things within your home can store the energy. One thing that you also need to be aware of is how things can actually disrupt your energy. So maybe it's not storing energy from one thing, but it's coming in with a whole new frequency that's taking you away from being grounded and connected to God and being connected to the earth. Okay? So in the Healing Tools program, I want to go more in depth so you really understand how this actually works. All right, now with the Healing Tools program, I've given you a lot of information. I've shared with you a lot of tips that I do. And I want you to understand fully exactly how to raise your vibration so that way you can actually be in tune with who you really are. Now, within our spirit, there's always a disruption. And those signals for that would be those emotions such as anger, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling alone, you have levels of anxiety. maybe you have some heartbreak where you can't get over somebody, or you can't find a new love of your life, even though you don't think you're holding on to anybody anymore. All of these energies are somehow somewhere within you. It's connected into your aura, it's connected into your space, and those reactions of not releasing can now move into your physical body and create sickness, which is why you can see people get sick. They're ill, or they never move on, they'll maybe die alone. I found ways to show you how to take control of your own energy, because faith without works is dead. And if you're going to church and you're praying and you're still not seeing a result, then when you're not seeing those results, it's just like not being able to cross off the to-do list. You're going to start losing interest and start losing your power and your faith. Now, the way you can actually putting that energy in, it doesn't mean going to a job and reporting to somebody, but it's actually putting in the work of understanding the energy that God has designed, because a corporation was not here at the beginning or the inception of the earth, but you were. So knowing the natural given products that God has given us on our earth and using them to help protect your energy, get you grounded, keep you centered, so that way you can stay at a higher vibration. You then learn to remove all those blocks or ways that you actually apply, put in action the skills needed, and give the work to raise your faith. With the Healing Tool program, I'm going to go over the skills that I used to pull myself up when I was going through my lows. Now, I've gone through several things in my lifetime, and I had to figure things out when I was praying all the time. Then I wanted to understand what meditation was like. Then I wanted to understand what this was wrong. And then sometimes I knew I was praying and meditating, and that still wasn't working. So what exactly was going on? And I had to go deep within. And with that, I came and I tried certain things, and I understood it. And after I tried it, if it didn't make sense, I had to find out scientifically how it worked. And I created a system here for you. It's very simplified, so you don't have to do all of that work. And you can start applying it today. It's about an hour long. It's completely affordable, because this is more about you. And if you do it this one time, this is not a one-time fix. This is all about applying things into your life, because you're always moving. If you're like me, you're constantly moving. So today, I may be feeling great, and then tomorrow, I may get hit with some bad news or some turbulence, and then guess what? I have to be aware and centered on my energy, so that way I can shift it back out, get rid of the negatives, and get right back in, and be 100% operating the way God designed me. So this is something that you can use on a daily basis. It's going to take about an hour or two for you to learn. It'll take about 30 to 60 days for you to apply consistently, so that way you can make it a new habit in your life and then make it a lifetime change. Download, get the Healing Tools program today. I'm telling you, you can't operate anymore without knowing these things. You need to do these things. You have to start applying them into your life and use the tools that God gave us for free on this earth, and start using them to center yourself and protect your energy.